Okay, children, in this video we will discuss electric potential to a dipole. You know, a dipole is a system of two equal and opposite charges separated by a certain distance. This definition we have already done. Now, we'll calculate electric potential to a dipole. Let's understand the problem. The problem is like this. We have a charge here plus Q. We have another charge here minus Q. Obviously, plus Q minus Q become a dipole. Separation between the two charges is two-way, as you have assumed already, and C is the center. I want to calculate electric potential due to the two charges at a point P, which is located in distance R from the center along angle theta. Okay, so let charges plus Q and minus Q are separated by distance 2a. P is a point located at distance r from the center of the dipole along angle theta. Clear? Now we make assumptions. Let AP is equal to R1 and BP is equal to R2. For calculating potential, I need to know the distance. So I'm assuming the distance of point P from A, this distance is how much? R1, and this distance is how much? R2. Children, R1 and R2 are not known. I'll have to calculate the value of R1 and R2. I'm doing a bit of construction. What I'll do is, I'll first extend PC. I'm extending it here. From B I'll draw perpendicular. This angle is 90 degree. And similarly, from A I'll draw perpendicular here. This angle is also 90. This perpendicular is AM and this is AM. Children, if this angle is theta, so this angle will also be how much? Theta. These are vertically opposite angles. And we have said the distance between the two charges is two-way. So this distance will be how much? A, and this distance will be A. If I use trigonometry, suppose I am taking triangle here. In triangle C N, this point N, in triangle C and B, cos theta will be children, cos theta will be Cn by BC. Cn by BC is A. If I cross multiply, then Cn will be how much? A cos theta. I got Cn is equal to A cos theta. Similarly, I can prove that Cn will be equal to Cn and that will be A cos theta. If this distance is A cos theta, then this distance is also A cos theta. Once I know Cn and Cn, I can calculate the R1 and R2. Now, R1 is equal to how much? AP, and AP will be nearly equal to PM. And children, if R1 is equal to PM, then we can prove PM is equal to CP minus CN, CP minus CN, and CP is how much? R, and CM is A cos theta. CM is equal to A cos theta. That is substitute. We got alpha. Again, RT will be equal to BP, and BP is equal to how much? PN. And PN, children, when you look at the diagram, is PC plus CN. PC is R and CN is A cos theta. So the biggest challenge in this problem was to calculate the R and R2, which I have calculated. And you can remember in this exam, R is equal to R minus A cos theta, RT is equal to R plus C cos theta. There are other complicated ways to derive, but it is simplest to find R1 and R2. Therefore, net potential at point P is V equals to potential to charge at A, potential to charge at B. Is very easy, and that will be to charge at A will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R1 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 charge at B is negative minus Q by R2. So you can see when I simplify this, I get V equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 we take common, we get 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Now what do we do next? We'll put the value of R1 and R2. Then V becomes, here V becomes, I'm pressing the steps so you can know how to go about this. When order is completed, you can take a screenshot and copy note of the derivation. Remember this is how we are moving. V equals to put the value of R1 and R2, Q by 4 epsilon naught. R1 is how children? R minus A cos theta. R1 is R minus A cos theta, which is already calculated here, and R2 is R plus A cos theta. R plus A cos theta. Rest is work of simple mathematics. Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 R plus A cos theta minus R minus A cos theta, and denominator A minus B plus B is A square plus B square. So you get R square minus A square cos square. Now children, if you open this bracket and we solve, then V becomes, from here we come out here, V is equal to, this is V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into, if you open the bracket, R and R will cancel out, to be cos theta divided by R square minus A square cos square theta. So V becomes, I can write here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q to 2A, I am rearranging the terms, Q to 2A to cos theta divided by R square minus A square cos square theta. And children, Q to 2A is how much? P, dipole moment. So V becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square minus A square cos square theta. So this is what we get. And if R is very large compared to A, then R square minus A square will be nearly equal to R square. So V becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square. So this is potential due to electric dipole at a point P located distance R from the center. Okay, in case of a dipole, we always measure distance from the center along which angle theta. So here it is, when the two charges are separated by distance 2a, I need to calculate potential at distance r from the center of the dipole along angle theta. So you can very easily do it. Now you can take a screenshot and copy the board work easily. Here we have some special cases that we see actually. Special cases. Case 1. At the point on the perpendicular bisector. What will be potential at the point on the perpendicular bisector? Actually, this result is very important. We can discuss potential at a point on the axis and a point on the perpendicular bisector. Meaning, this is the dipole plus q and minus q, and I want to find out potential here on the perpendicular bisector. Any point here. This is here, this is here. So in this case, theta will be 90 degree, and v perpendicular will be 1 by 4 times 0 p cos 90 divided by r square minus a square cos square 90. And children, you know cos 90 is how much of 0. So v at any point on the perpendicular bisector will be how much? 0. This is to be kept in mind that potential to the electric dipole at any point on the perpendicular bisector out here or out here. But at any point here on the perpendicular bisector, potential will be 0. So you have to know this. If this is a dipole and I put a plane which is perpendicular bisector here, at any point on the plane, the potential will be 0. In case 2, at a point on the axis, at a point on the axis. If suppose I want to find out potential at any point on the axis, then at any point on the axis, how much is theta children? 0. Theta will be how much here? 0. And cos 0 is how much? 1. So we are the axis will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p cos 0 divided by r square minus a square cos square 0. Cos square 0 is how much? 1. So we are the axis will be children how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 p by r square minus a square. So when should we calculate electric potential to dipole at a general point? अभी r theta notation. Also at a point on the perpendicular bisector, we know it is what? 0. They will act like a negative potential surface. Potential will be 0 everywhere. And at any point on the axis, this is the potential which you can very easily do. Okay. Now we compare this electric potential with respect to potential due to point charge. It is very interesting. If I take only a charge here, Q, then potential at a distance r will be how much here? V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by r square. This is due to a charge. And V due to a dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p cos theta divided by r square minus a square cos square theta. Now listen, it's interesting for you to know that this r can be along any direction, potential is always same. But if I want to find out potential, if I want to find out potential to the dipole, it is different. In place of q we have p cos theta, meaning this potential is depending upon the value of dipole moment, depending on the value of cos theta. And then that is if I remove this term a square cos 1 theta, very clearly I can see that potential is also inversely proportional to r square. Okay. So properties of potential due to a dipole. Okay. First one is that potential due to a dipole is directly proportional to dipole moment. Okay. Number 2, potential to a dipole is directly proportional to cos theta. When it is charged, we have P. Cos theta is not there, but dipole will be depending on the value of cos theta. And number 3, remember for this case I have assumed R is very large compared to A, which I already done there. And potential of the dipole, children, is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Now this is a very interesting point. Here potential is inversely proportional to R, and here it is inversely proportional to R square. So you bearing all these things in mind, we will discuss potential of the dipole. Simple numericals can be given where it is set to the value of V. If they say short dipole, I'll be always using this relation, short dipole. Short dipole means R is very large compared to A. Now children, once you have completed this, we'll be seeing how much work is done in rotating a dipole. If you remember, in our earlier lectures on electric dipole, we said that whenever a dipole is placed in an electric field, external electric field, which is uniform, it experiences a torque, and we specifically said that there is no rotation in there is no linear motion, there is only rotation, right? When you place a dipole in an external electric field, it starts what? Rotating. This is what you've done. This is an electric dipole plus Q. This is minus Q, right? They are separated by distance 2a. This is the electric field. At given instant, this angle is how much? Theta. And we know, since the field is uniform, this dipole will start what? Rotating. So the question is, how much work is done in rotating a dipole? Okay. So work done in rotating a dipole. You don't have to rotate, the system will rotate. And you know work done by the system is negative. That will also be verified in this discussion. Work done in rotating a dipole. So we'll say let axis of the dipole makes angle theta with uniform electric field. Uniform electric field of intensity E. Clear? And when the electric field is uniform, you know there will be torque and the dipole will start rotating. So at this instant, remember theta is a variable angle. The dipole is like this, but when the dipole will start rotating, then obviously theta will also change. So theta is variable. If theta is variable, then torque will also be variable. You know that torque acting on the dipole is tau is equal to P sin theta. P sin theta. We have already done this derivation. You can watch the video or the earlier video. It is all there. Torque acting on the dipole is P sin theta. But theta is what? A variable angle, changing all the time. So here I say let the dipole is rotated by angle d theta. I am rotating dipole by angle d theta. If rotation is small, then work done will also be small. And you have done in class 11 that work done in rotation is called torque into angle of rotation. Work done in rotation is torque multiplied by angle of rotation. So here I will say, therefore, work done in rotation is equal to torque into angle of rotation. So W is equal to tau into theta. Tau into theta. Now, if angle in d theta, the work there will also be what? Very small. And we know that tau is equal to P sin theta. So put it here. Then dw is equal to P sin theta d theta. Now integrate both sides. If you integrate children, what do you get? dw is equal to p sin d theta, and if you integrate the constant here c, so it's constant of integration, then w becomes p comes out, integration of sin theta is equal to theta plus c, integration of sin theta down children minus cos theta, so p into minus cos theta plus c. Now we need to evaluate, I need to evaluate constant of integration w is equal to minus p cos theta plus c. Now I can choose theta of my choice. I take theta is equal to 90 degree. If I take theta is equal to 90 degree, the dipole is perpendicular. In this case, torque is what? Maximum. Then w is equal to minus p cos 90 plus c. And when torque is maximum, w is also much 0. So this part is also c is equal to 0. If c is equal to 0, then I can go from equation 2. Therefore, from equation 2, work done is how much, children? Minus p cos theta. So how much is work done rotating the dipole? Minus p cos theta. Now we know that a dot b is equal to how much? ab cos theta. P is a vector quantity, E is also a vector quantity. What we got here? W is equal to minus PE cos theta. So you can write this as minus P dot E. So we came across an interesting formula that work done is minus P cos theta is a negative work. I told in the beginning that you do not have to rotate. The system will rotate the dipole itself, and work done by the system is negative. Therefore, we get what? Negative sign. So work done in rotating dipole is minus P cos theta or minus P dot E. Okay. So you can copy the both work. Okay. Now we'll be doing another small derivation, that is potential energy of a dipole. What we discuss? We said that when you place a dipole in an external electric field which is uniform, then the dipole will be set into rotation. We don't have to rotate, the system will rotate. And the work done in the process of rotating a dipole is stored as what? Energy of the dipole. So we will say energy of a dipole. What is the energy of a dipole, children? Work done in the process of rotating a dipole is stored as energy of the dipole. So children, we understand what is the energy of a dipole. Energy of a dipole is the work which is in rotating a dipole. Right? So we will be deriving an expression for work done in rotating a dipole from one angle to another angle. Earlier we did let angle made by the dipole with uniform electric field E is theta. So if this angle is theta, children, then how much is torque? Torque acting on the dipole is tau is equal to p sin theta. Again, like we did before, work done in rotating the dipole. Work done in rotating the dipole is dw is equal to tau d theta. We already did this derivation, and tau you already know. How much tau children? P sin theta d theta. So we got here dw is equal to p sin theta d theta. Now we integrate both sides. What we do? Integrate both sides. Remember, we are going to assume here that the axis of dipole initially we assume is mechanical what? Theta 1 initially, and finally is making what angle? Theta 2. We'll make this assumption actually that initially it is making angle theta 1 and finally it is making angle theta 2. So we set up the limits. Let the dipole is rotated from angle theta 1 to theta 2, meaning this variable theta actually will be changing from theta 1 to theta 2. Let us integrate both sides. dw is equal to minus p sin theta d theta. When angle is theta 1, the work done is how much? 0. Initial position. When angle theta 2, the work done is w. You know that this integral means w minus 0 minus p sin. Here we have integration sin theta is what? Minus cos theta 1 to theta 2. Okay. So w now take minus outside, minus p cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. W is equal to, if it is minus inside, p into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. In case you are not a math student, for you should remember integration of sin theta is equal to minus cos theta. Okay, this is to be kept in mind. So what done in rotating a dipole is p into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So, but work done is equal to energy of dipole. Similar energy of dipole is u. So u becomes, we have p cos theta 1 minus cos theta. Now we can discuss two specific cases from here, children. Case 1, if theta 1 is equal to 0 and theta 2 is equal to theta, meaning initially the axis of dipole was parallel to the external field. If I substitute these values out here, children, then u becomes p cos 0 minus cos theta. How much is cos 0, children? 1. So u will be equal to p into 1 minus cos theta. This is case 1. Now we would like to know what is the maximum energy of the dipole. For maximum energy, case 2, if theta is equal to 0, theta 1 is equal to 0 and theta 2 is equal to 180 degree. If I substitute here this equation, theta 1 is 0 and theta 2 is equal to theta, then the maximum energy becomes p cos 0 minus cos 180, and cos 180 is how much? Minus 1. So from here copy it. U max is E into cos 0 is 1, cos 1 is minus 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, twice P. So this is the maximum energy that an electric dipole will have. Okay? Maximum energy for dipole will be twice PE. Okay? So now here in this case, we discuss how much is energy of the dipole. Okay? Now children, in the process of discussing energy of charges, we will discuss energy of two charges, isolated charges, when no external field is present. We will be seeing how much will be the energy of two isolated charges when no external electric field is applied. We will be doing an interesting derivation. We will be saying electrostatic energy of 2 point charges. 2 point charges. We will understand what will be the energy of two charges. Let's understand a typical situation. Suppose the charge Q1. Q1 is an isolated charge. There is no charge around it. There is no charge in its vicinity or neighborhood. Now, I have another charge Q2. This charge Q2 being from very far away place, and I am placing here at a point P or B. Q1 is placed at A. Q1 was brought initially. There is no other charge, no field. So what then is now 0. I have placed Q1 out here. Then I am bringing Q2 from infinity. At infinity, like I told you earlier, also discuss our potential. There is no force, it is no work. As I bring it closer, I am working as the what? Repulsion. I brought it like this. And finally, I placed it at distance what? I. So as I brought it, I did work in bringing the charge, and work done by external force is positive work. This will increase the energy of the system, right? So work done in the process of bringing two charges from infinity to the given distance between them is known as electrostatic potential energy of two charges. Okay, we'll make certain assumptions. Let charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance r. Clear? Now, as I am bringing Q2 from infinity, so initial position, initial of r will be what? Infinity, and final position will be r itself. So, in the separated by distance r, then force between them. How much will be force, children? F will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by r square. Right? This is the force which will be acting between them. Now, electrostatic force on Q2 will be like this. And I am linking it towards the already done the concept. Q2 is not being accelerated, remember it is not being accelerated. I have to apply external force like this, Fext, which will be equal and opposite to Fe. So this is Fe actually. So let Q2 is displaced by distance dr. By what distance? dr. Displaced by distance dr. Meaning, I am bringing Q2 closer Through what distance? dr, towards. So dw will be, how will be small? It will be f external dot dr, and f external will use how much? Minus f into dr. Just with the work done. If I put value of f, then dw will be equal to minus, and this is actually f e dr cos 180, as you already know, because relative force acting in the backward direction and external force acting in the forward direction, the angle between them is how much? 90 degree. Similarly, the angle between FE and dr is also how much? 180 degree. Cos 180 is what? Minus 1. We have done this concept in potential, so same thing applied here. Work that. Put value of f 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square dr. Very simple. This is the work done. Now we just integrate both sides. Integrate both sides. If integrate both sides, then dw will be equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square dr. You can see that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant, q1 q2 is also constant. It can be taken outside the integration sign. So dw is equal to minus q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by r square dr. Let's set up limits, children. Initial value of r is how much? Infinity. Then what is how much? 0. Final value of r is r itself, and what is how much? W. Integration of dw is how much? W minus 0 is minus q1 q2 by r square. And you have done earlier that integration of 1 by r square is how much? Minus 1 by r. So we set up the limits in minus 1 by r infinity to r. Clear? W minus 0 is how much? W minus q1 q2 by, this is 4 pi epsilon 0. 4 pi epsilon 0. We set up the limit. First we put r is equal to minus 1 by r minus 1 by infinity. And you know 1 by infinity is how much, children? 0. So work done is equal to minus q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon 0 minus 1 by r. Minus will plus. So how much the work done, children? Work done w is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r. But children, we know that work done is equal to what? This work done is equal to electrostatic potential energy of the two charges. So I'll say hence potential energy of the two charges is U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r. So children, this is potential energy of the system of the two charges, right? This is an important derivation. Remember, this energy is scalar. So if q1 and q2 are positive and negative, it put them in proper sign. It is scalar quantity and we calculate the answer. Okay? Now children, we will be seeing potential energy of a system of three charges. Potential energy of system of three charges. Potential energy. Remember, this is electrostatic potential energy, right? Potential energy of a system of 3 charges. Potential energy of system of 3 charges. Let's understand this. Suppose here a triangle ABC. Clear? There is no external field because the field is not mentioned. There is no external field. Let's answer conceptually. I first bring a charge at Q1. I bring a charge Q1 at which point A. Try to understand? I bring a charge Q1 at which point A. When I bring a charge at A, you can see there is no other charge in the neighborhood. So how much will be worked in this case? 0. Yes. Now I bring a charge Q2 and I place it at point what? B. Separation from Q1 and Q2 I'll assume is what? R12. So you can see that when I bring Q2 from infinity and place it at point B, then I have to work against the repulsion of A. Yes. So now I have to do work and the work will be stored as potential energy. So potential of the system of 1 and 2, charge 1 and 2, we call it what? U12. What do we call it? U12. U12 is the work done when I am bringing from Q2, when I am bringing Q2 from infinity and placing at point B. Now once Q1 and Q2 have been placed, I am bringing another charge Q3 and I am placing at C. I will assume the distance between B and C will be R23 and between 3 and 1 will be R31. So it's very interesting. Q1 and Q2 already there. If I bring Q3 from infinity and try to place it at point C, there will be repulsion from A, there will be repulsion from B. That means I will have to work against B. So this will be considered as energy of 2 and 3. And also have to work because of 1, so this will be what? U31. So if I add up all these 3 energies, then that will be the combined energy of the system of 3 charges. Okay? So I'll say, I'm sure you are clear about the concept. I'll calculate U12, I'll calculate U23, and I'll calculate what? U31. And energy is just kept quantity, I'll just add up all this, right? So let charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 are placed at the vertices of a triangle ABC in the given order 1 by 1. Now this given order is not necessary. You can start placing them in any order. It is only sake of convenience that I am taking U1, Q1 and then Q2 and then Q3. Okay? There is no other reason. There is no external field. Therefore, potential energy of the system of 3 charges is U is equal to U12 plus U23 plus U31. And this is what? U total potential energy. And you know what the potential energy formula? U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. If I use this formula, children, then answer U12 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12, because here R is the distance between 1 and 2. And we have given this distance as what name? R12. R12 is distance between 1 and 2. Next one is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 3 that will be Q2 Q3 by R23, right? And then for 3-1, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 Q1 divided by R3. Now children, if you look overall, what is common? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common. Then U equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. We have Q1 Q2 by R12, Q2 Q3 by R23 plus children Q3 Q1 by R31. So this is potential energy of the system of 3 charges. And sometimes we will ask how much is the total work in assembling them. This is the potential energy system of 3 charges. And we ask how much the work done. Work done will be what? Work done in assembling all the charges. So work done is equal to what? Energy of the charge system. W will be equal to U, and that we have to what? Save by the result once again. Okay. So in this video we will be doing only this much. In the next video we will be discussing more topics and more applications of this concept. Thank you.